first chance they have in a while to actually get a solid player.
Well, that means my 17th pick from New England is kind of weird. Because I have Aldon Smith going to New England at number 17 from Oakland, the defensive end out of Missouri. I think if he's available, they snatch him up pretty damn quick, especially considering this is kind of a steal of a pick here for them from Oakland. What do you think, Chris? What does New England do with the 17th slot?
They have so many fucking options. Fuck the Patriots, man. The guys don't even have that many leads, and they have 6 fucking picks in the first 3 rounds.
Yep.
Even after they make this pick, they still have 2 more picks in the next 16. So I have them basically going for best pick available who's also in need, and I have that being J.J. Watt, defensive end. Now, I think, honestly, the big thing that the Patriots want to leave this draft with is a pass-rushing linebacker, but they don't have that right now. I don't think anyone really is worth that spot. So instead, I'm going to give them J.J. Watt, and then they'll kind of play it by ear from there. I think they can grab one of the top linemen later with maybe even the first pick of the second round. I think this is just kind of a good, solid pick for them. Someone good to shore up their line, a really good player. I think J.J. Watt may actually be one of the better players in this draft, one of an underrated player. He's a good player. Got a good line on his shoulders.
Do either of you guys think that New England plays with their picks this year and they sort of trade a few away?
I would not be surprised if they did.
I mean, they've just got a ridiculous plethora of picks. I mean, they've got 2 picks in the first round alone, and that's kind of ridiculous in it of itself. It seems like they could do pretty much whatever they want in the draft, and they're golden. It really seems like New England really, really knows how to work the system, and they're working it really well here. But I've got Aldon Smith, defensive end. You've got J.J. Watt, defensive end. So I think, what do you think, Nick? Do you think they go defensive end?
I don't know what position in particular, but the Patriots have a habit of going defensive the last few years. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. They've got so many young guys on their defense as it is, though.
That's true. They do have a lot of young guys on defense, but
I wouldn't be surprised to see the Patriots trade away a few of their picks to grab an even more elite player at the top of the draft. Not the way I look at this.
I wouldn't be surprised either. You think maybe they'd trade up and get somebody like Daquan Bowers?
I think they could go even higher than that. I think they could go even as high as trade within the top 5 if they wanted to, and it really wouldn't hurt them at all.
Think they could get Von Miller?
They could grab Darius? Patrick Peterson. They really could. They could do anything they want. I think at the Patriots, honestly, I think they could trade the first pick overall if they wanted to.
San Diego can't really do what it wants. It has a need, and I think that need is defensive line. What do you think, Chris?
Yep, defensive line. I have Cam Jordan going here.
You've got Cam Jordan going there. Interesting. I've got Muhammad Wilkerson going there. I think Wilkerson fits what the Chargers are looking for. He can line up as 3-4, but he can line up as a 3-4 defensive end. He can fit into a 4-3 if they decide to just scrap the entire playbook middle of the season and, I don't know, do whatever. But unfortunately, I think he falls to 18. This guy's, I think Wilkerson's a top 10 pick. I honestly think he belongs in the top 10, but I think there's just too much. I just think he falls. There's just not enough need for him until about San Diego, and I think Wilkerson goes here. Now, this will bring us to, unless you disagree with me, and that's a silly pick. This brings us to the number 19 pick, the New York Giants. And I know a lot of Giants fans and a lot of Giants prognosticators have picked Mike Pouncey, the old lineman from Florida, to fall here. I think Pouncey's a little too talented to fall to the 19th slot. What do you think, Chris?
I have Pouncey falling here, so that's actually who I have the Giants picking up.
Oh, okay.
I should note that in this draft, both Ayers and Pouncey are here, and those are basically the 2 big names kind of being discussed at this point. And I just find that I think the Giants are going to value Pouncey a bit more if they have this position, especially since they basically come out and said that center is going to be the biggest need. And I know, Nick, you said that he's not really going to be great at center. The thing is, though, that Pat Flattery, the offensive line coach for the Giants, is a really good offensive line coach. He's taken guys who have never been in those sort of positions before and turned them into quality players. I mean, you think back to Adam Coates, who 2 years ago, all I heard from training camp was how he was shooting snaps over Eli Manning's head. this year he has to fill in. He performed amazing. I don't remember a single botch snap from him this year. So I think that Pat Flattery, if he gets his hands on Mike Pouncey, could actually turn him into a very elite player at center. But that's why I have going here. So,
okay, now hold your breath and try not to laugh too hard, because all of the pretty good OTs are out for me. The guards, all the good guards, the OTs, they're pretty much out right now at this point for me. So I looked at the Giants and they said, all right, do you want to reach down for Gabe Carimi? Do you want to reach down for Danny Watkins, which I'm not a big fan of Watkins. Do you want to go maybe for Aaron Williams at cornerback, maybe Jimmy Smith, who's still available for me? But I looked around and I said, you know what? Who else is available? You know what's going to be in need for the Giants in the immediate future? Maybe not in this season, but maybe next season. Running back. And I picked Mark Ingram here. And I think this is either a brilliant decision on my part, or I am the biggest idiot on the planet. Because Ingram doesn't really fit the need that they're going to have with Jacobs. Basically, either Jacobs is going to run himself out of a job, or Ahmad Bradshaw is going to be traded away or go to free agency and not be paid what he needs to be paid. So I think they're going to have a slot, a need in the third running back slot, and I think Ingram might be able to fill that slot at this point. Maybe I'm just the smartest idiot alive, but I don't. I thought maybe it would be a decent pick for them to have another running back come out and work him up to replace running backs who are basically going to be on their way out, or at least one running back that's going to be on his way out. Okay, you can stop holding your breath now, Chris. You can tell me how much of a dumbass I am.
I don't think you're necessarily a dumbass. It's not the pick I'd make, but that's because I hate running backs in the first round. I hate them because you look at our two running backs we have now, Brendan Jacobs, Ahmad Bradshaw. Both of them great players. Brendan Jacobs, 5th round, Ahmad Bradshaw, 7th round. The fact of the matter is the running back position is the most easily disposable position in the draft. You can get someone in the late rounds, and they'll be fine. You can get anyone. You can get a free agent, and they'll be fine. Because running backs nowadays, their success is predicated much more on how their offensive line plays than anyone else. So I hate drafting a running back in the first round. It's something I never want to do. I wouldn't be upset if we grabbed Mark Ingram because it does make sense. There is a lot of uncertainty regarding our running backs. It's just a position I would never want to. I never want to have to make that pick. All right,
Tampa Bay's up next to 20, Nick.
Yay!
Yay, Tampa Bay. The reason we have you on the show.
Oh.
They did pretty good. They finished ahead of the Giants in the draft.
We should have made the playoffs. We didn't have anyone in the Pro Bowl. Got gypped.
To be fair, they didn't finish ahead of us. We just had the better record, or we had the better whatever fucking intangibles.
You had a weaker strength of schedule. You had a weaker strength of schedule.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway,
we finished the same record. Thank you very much.
Yeah, whatever.
Anyway, Tampa Bay's up at the 20 spot. Nick, what needs do your Tampa Bay Buccaneers have?
We need a defensive lineman.
Mm-hmm.
We need a defensive lineman. Like, if you look at it shows up in the final season statistics. We did great defensively against the pass, 28th against the run. Despite having a good passing defense, we were tied for 30th in sacks. So we need to get back to that early 2000s kind of defense we had, and in order to do that, we need a good defensive lineman, somebody who can get the pass rush going, because it all starts from there.
Well, if what you need is a defensive lineman, and I agree with you, then you're going to like my pick here. I think they're going to get Cameron Jordan, defensive end out of California. I think he's going to be a decent... if he falls this far to the 20 slot, which may not happen, I think Jordan might be a good fit for Tampa Bay. Chris, what do you think?
I have Ryan Kerrigan falling here. Defensive end is the position that Tampa Bay needs right now. Mm-hmm. I can't see them going anything else, especially with a draft this heavy defensive lineman. I think this is like the fucking 9th fucking lineman I've picked in this draft. But this draft is just good on defensive linemen. Tampa Bay needs a defensive end, someone who can get the pass rush, who can open up slots for McCoy and Price in the middle. And if you add Kerrigan to that list, to that line, I honestly think you may have one of the best defensive lines in the league.
You just might. I debated whether Jordan or Kerrigan would be picked here, and I went with Jordan first because KC's up next at the 21 spot, and KC has two distinct needs. They do need help on the defensive end aspect, but they also need outside linebacker. Well, they need inside linebacker. They just need linebacker. Now, a lot of people have picked Akeem Ayers going to KC here. Chris, who did you pick?
I had Akeem Ayers.
All right. and Chris has picked Akeem Ayers too. Which is probably the safe pick here. However, I really debated with myself, and I thought, another good defensive end for KC could really help stout in the defense. It's not going to help them on the short passing to get another defensive end, but I think Ryan Kerrigan, if he falls this far, KC's going to look at Akeem Ayers and go, Kerrigan's a better athlete, and he's better overall pick at this slot, a better value, and we'll get him. So I think the defensive end out of Purdue goes to KC. Personally, I don't think that's a bad call, but maybe I'm insane. I know. We'll see what happens. For all I know, KC's going to pick up Blaine Gabbert at 21. Indianapolis,
they should pick up Von Miller at 21.
If Von Miller falls to 21...
Dude, I can't even tell you if the real draft mocked out the way yours does, and Von Miller hasn't been picked up at 21. I imagine Kansas City GMs murdering people to get to that podium faster. Just just slitting Roger Goodell's neck so they can get to that podium. We select Von Miller. Von Miller.
No, those are the Giants. That's the Giants. If it falls to 19, oh god.
Just slams into the commissioner or pushes him off stage.
It's like Von Miller! No one's going for Von Miller!
Before anything happens, Von Miller, before anybody else realizes what happened. Okay. Ignoring my Von Miller fuck-up, Indianapolis has some needs, and I think they've got him on the offensive tackle position, the offensive line position. I chose Jimmy Smith. No, I didn't. I chose Gabe Karimi here. Not Jimmy Smith. He's a cornerback. He's the next one I have. I just gave that away. I've got Gabe, the offensive tackle out of Wisconsin here. I think he'll fit in rather well, and I think he'll fit in. He'll help this line that will. I know. When I struggle to come up for words, I repeat myself. I'm sorry. I think he's going to fit into the offensive line, okay? And I think he's going to help Peyton out. Maybe I'm insane, Chris.
No, I have same position, different player though. I have Anthony Costanzo going here. The reason for this being they need someone to protect Manning's blindside. He has a lot of blindside to him, but they need someone to protect his blind side. And the thing is with Costanzo is he's not necessarily a dominant left tackle. No one actually thinks he's going to be a guy that will make it to Pro Bowls, but they think or even a guy who will last in this league 10 years. The thing is, though, a lot of people are saying he's the most pro-ready guy. He's a good tackle, not great. And I think that's the kind of guy that the Colts really could use right now. It'd be great to get someone great, but they need someone who can hop in immediately to protect Manning because these are his last years. So I think grabbing someone like him who they can plug in day one, and he can go up against, admittedly, a pretty weak, assortment of pass rushers. I can't really think of anyone that dangerous in the AFC South beyond Mario Williams, and Mario Williams isn't going to be. I don't even know what the fuck they're doing with Mario Williams. So I think this is just kind of a good spot for him.
Nick, what do you think Indianapolis needs? You think it is offensive line?
I think that they need to find a way to trade in their draft choice so that they can have all of their offensive players stay healthy next year. They need to find some sort of deal they can make that way.
They need to make a deal with the devil. Say, we will give you our draft picks if you let us stay healthy for once.
and with the 22nd pick in the 2011 NFL Draft, Satan picks.
Satan picks?
Von Miller!
Well, it's funny you say Satan picks because Philadelphia is next on our list.
Oh.
Well, blow at Philly, but I'm a Giants fan, so screw off Philly. The 23rd pick, and they have some defensive needs, but they also have offensive line needs as well. And with Anthony Costanzo on my list, still on my list, I decided to ignore that and go with cornerback Jimmy Smith out of Colorado. Chris. Fuck.
Fuck!
Right there.
Yes, because in my draft, this is how it works, and I hate it, but I have the Eagles taking Gabe Carey.